I would go to my grave insisting Muslimism ticket was wrong for Nigeria. Reverend Father Yomi Kasali, welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post hot juicy news updates. Please click on the notification bell. Yomi Kasali, founder and senior pastor of the Foundation of Truth Assembly, FOTA, and the immediate past chairman of the Nigeria Christian Pilgrim Commission (NCPC) recently met with members of Association of Christian Correspondents of Nigeria, where he clarified some issues surrounding the Lagos PFN and the current socio-economic challenges of the country. Sheyi John Salo, who was there, bring the excerpt. They asked, in the 90s, you were always on television preaching and teaching. As a pastor, what has ministry taught you? He replied, ministry is a Christian service. It is the best anybody can do, both to God and to humanity. You serve God, you serve humanity, you serve people. Christian leadership and ministry, in my opinion, is probably not the way the Bible and probably God intended. Today we'll make it look like it is bossing people around. For me, it has been a very good journey. I have withdrawn from what one called public space. I did that deliberately and consciously, especially when I got active in politics. I pulled back. It is just a matter of conscience. You must live what you teach and preach. I do not want to give or portray that the pulpit cannot correct those in power, even when those I align with are doing what I know is wrong and I cannot correct them. My conscience become bruised because you are told not to be truthful, or in your being truthful, they want you to be more tactful. You know that is the problem we have in the church. We try to be truthful and tactful. And in the deployment of tact, because tact is to say something that will not offend someone, in the deployment or using of tact, we probably lose truth. We become more tactful than truthful, and tact become the objective than truth. You tactfully say nothing instead of truthfully saying something, and you end up being tactful and trying to massage everybody's ego, and you say nothing. You call white black. You call black white because you don't want to offend people or you don't want to be politically incorrect. The ministry has taught me that TV ministry is very brutal and people get famous by being popular, but you can be famous and not be impactful. I think the pursuit of fame is one of the things that has affected our nation. I think with those I have spoken to in the past, my honest appraisal is that the church has failed the nation. My personal honest appraisal of our nation today, when you look at all the indices with respect to nation building, a healthy nation does a healthy nation, not a failed state. Look at all the indices, morality, corruption, development anywhere, worldwide, and you look at our church, the growth and all the anti-ethical. If I have many schools and my illiteracy level is still very high, there is a problem. School is meant to solve the illiteracy problem. The church is supposed to solve morality problem and corruption. If I have many hospitals and people are still sick of malaria, then the hospital is not doing its job. Either they have quack doctors in the hospital or the hospital are just mortuaries. If you have many churches and what the churches are trying to fix is still on the increase, there's something wrong. I may not know what is wrong, but we should agree there's something wrong. They asked, what is your take on church and governance? He replied, for those that care to know, I will go to my grave saying that I'm against Muslim ticket, and I'll stand on that point with my last drop of blood. It is just what I consider fairness, and I'm not saying that it is a sin. If democracy is the voice of the people, I think representative democracy should be encouraged in most jobs in the country. So, if 50% of a country or 49% or even if 46% are Christians, I will expect that our number one or number two, that one of them should be Christian. Some people may say that if that is the case, why don't we say that why don't number one or number two be a woman, as females should also be represented? Some will say if we push representative democracy with respect to region, north and south, we should also push democracy with respect to religion. Some may say region is more important than religion. Maybe they are right. Some may say their faith carries more weight than their region, like you and I know that our brothers in the north consider their religion more important than even their region. But we in the South consider our region more important than our religion. It is a battle of region versus religion. So which of the two should carry weight? Again, because we're a bit educated, we probably do think religion should be private. And I agree with those that probably push that position that religion should be a private matter. I mean, there is nothing wrong with that. I totally agree when it comes to policies. There should be separation of state and politics. I agree with that. But where we find ourselves today in our nation is very important. They asked, "How do you see the Supreme Court ruling over the presidential election result?" He replied, "The president won convincingly at the Supreme Court. Everybody has to be patriotic. I say often that patriots build a nation and not politicians. What we lack in Nigeria is true patriotism. At this point, people that love the country should perhaps sheath their swords and then see what they can do to build the nation. We got to move this nation forward. The thing bedevouring the nation, in my opinion, is still very much evident is corruption. I do not know if we will be able to make any significant progress in this country if we do not decisively battle corruption. I think everybody should go ahead and support the president, backing with prayers and otherwise to succeed. The voice of patriots should be heard now. We should think about the nation. We should think about the nation. We should speak as elders and say, you know what? The fact that things did not go your way does not mean we should throw the bathwater out with the baby. We should respect the law of the land. If you think what they have done is wrong, you have to wait for another 4 or 3 years. There is nothing we can do. We cannot take up arms. I do not support that. I do not support any uprising that will create more crisis to those that are already going through a lot. People go through a lot to even feed these days. So we should not add to the plight of the common man, those who are on the streets and the critical masses in the north and in the south. Things are tough. Things are very expensive now. Let us move on and let us build this nation. Nigeria needs all hands on deck now. If you see the president today, what will you advise him? They asked. He replied, "Fight corruption. I have been preaching that for 25 years and I'm not going to change now. In the next 4 years, I intend to preach against corruption with my last drop of blood. We will not make progress until we deliberately and sincerely agree that corruption has killed us. I served in Buhari's government as a member of the Governing Council of University of Lagos, UNILAG, and the chairman of the Nigeria Christian Pilgrim Commission, NCPC. And I can say to you, we failed. The government failed. Buhari failed in the area of corruption, probably much worse than Jonathan. People like us worked so hard to enthrone a forthright leader. We assumed that Buhari would be able to fix corruption. I worked so tirelessly in 2015 with Osibanjo. It has nothing to do with sentiment. We must be factual and truthful to ourselves." This is very apt. I agree with him, but why I will not agree with him is, how can you decide to work with somebody who actually to me this is ridicule. And in this country, if you work with a particular government and that government becomes a flop, you will take the fall for it. Are they ready to put themselves in that light? People who will want to come out and run for presidency, I doubt. All right, on this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.